We would like to invite you to think about 2 or 3 things that are important to you about your identity, something that makes you you. Now imagine that you have to give one of those things up to feel safe in the world. Which one would you choose? How would you feel? Imagine having to hide a part of yourself to feel safe. Imagine how hiding a part of yourself diminishes who you are. How can we be fully ourselves if we feel afraid? Imagine having to exist in an environment that doesn't help you flourish, that doesn't help you be your best self. Imagine spending your days depleted. Imagine you're an LGBT+ young person returning to school.
When we asked young people, do you feel able to express yourself at school? 80% said no. Frequently in school, staff can be supportive to their young people, and then behind closed doors that behaviour can change. Frequently I've had conversations with staff where they've dead named and misgendered students that their names have been changed on the register and they're going through transition within school. We recognise that changing your behaviour can be very difficult, especially if you've known a young person for a long period of time, years in some instances. However, we really strongly recommend that changing this behaviour and getting to the habit of referring to them as the pronouns that they choose to be known as will really help you from slipping up in front of that young person.
We've got an opportunity to make a big difference to a lot of young people who are really struggling at the moment with the thought of going back to school. With that in mind, we've come up with 10 top tips, although we probably could have gone on all day with these, just to give you some ideas of things that you could think about going forward.
The first top tip on my list is be proactive in approaching the needs of young LGBT+ individuals.
If you're meeting their needs, then hopefully you'll be meeting the needs of all young people. So, for example, when I first transitioned, I spent a little bit of time away from school. Whilst I was away, my school were in the middle of building a new toilet block. Originally they were going to have a disabled toilet. They renamed that the accessible toilet.
The second top tip on my list is use the names and pronouns given by the young person all the time, not just when you're around them.
If you can use it all the time, not just when you're in front of them, you'll be more likely to get it right when you're with them too.
There were occasions where I heard this. Made me feel like I wasn't being accepted or listened to, and I was in a bad place with my mental health as it was. It just made things a lot worse.
The third top tip on my list is don't panic if you get the name or pronouns of an individual wrong.
If you get it wrong, apologise, move on, carry on the conversation, and then hopefully next time get it right. If you get it wrong again, apologise, move on. Don't make a big deal out of it. It's going to be a big enough deal as it is to the young person. There is no need to go on and on about it.
My fourth top tip is call out homophobia or transphobia just like you would any other hate crime or bullying.
By not calling it out, you're enforcing the idea that it's okay to be homophobic or transphobic, and that can make quite an unsafe environment for a young person.
My fifth top tip is include examples of LGBT+ people and relationships across all subjects.
LGBT+ isn't a one-off lesson.
History is a brilliant one for this. Literature, science, sports, maths, all sorts of famous people in those fields who should be highlighted. By highlighting those people, including representation, I know it's always a good thing.
My sixth top tip is use gender-neutral terms like they, them or partner.
Don't make assumptions based on a heterosexual norm.
With regards to the partner aspect of that, if you're assuming that a boy has a girlfriend or a girl has a boyfriend, you could force someone to out themselves in a situation where they're not comfortable doing so or they don't feel safe to do so.
My seventh, and one of the most important top tips on this list, I'd say, is change the language you use.
Replace words such as confused with words like questioning, because then that gives the young person the space to ask them questions and they'll be better placed to get the answers that they want.
My 8th top tip is implement a whole school approach to show support for LGBT+ individuals.
One of my favourite ideas, it's not my own idea, it's not going to take credit for that, but it's the idea of a pride bake sale. Everybody loves a bake sale. It's something everybody can get involved in. You can do it nice rainbow themed biscuits or cupcakes, that kind of thing. A bake sale gets everyone involved. Everybody loves to eat the produce of a bake sale.
My 9th top tip, one I cannot stress enough, is be an active ally.
Be a proud and proactive ally and contribute to making your school and the young people within it feel more respected and valued.
My 10th top tip is think about the bubble you place your students in.
We recognise that staff and young people will be feeling a lot of anxiety about returning to education. Try and keep the thoughts and feelings of the LGBT+ young people in your considerations when picking the bubbles that they will be returning in.
My final top tip is it's okay if you're not sure. Ask for help or advice.
I know we said it was going to be a top 10, but here's a little extra one for you. Nobody's expecting you to be an expert on this, so if you feel unsure about anything, please ask for help or advice.
Young people are fountains of knowledge on this subject. I know myself, from being that age, first exploring the LGBT+ community, you take on fountains of knowledge, you take on a lot of research, and you want to share it with someone. So if a teacher was to come up and ask me at that age, am I doing things right? What could I be doing? Is there anything you think I should look up? I would have been more than happy to advise.
Imagine a school where LGBT+ young people don't just have to survive. Imagine being part of the environment that helps them flourish. Be that person who can make a difference. If you need more information, support or help, please contact us.